Hello friends! We are in Monterey. This is my good buddy Zach. We have been friends, what did we figure out? For 28 years. He was my dungeon master in high school. That's how nerdy we are.
Yep.
We are here in beautiful Monterey, California. As you can see from our limited view of the ocean there, we are going to the Monterey Bay Aquarium today and we thought we would take you with us. So there's Sly McFlies and we make the left onto Cannery Row. So prepare yourself for a montage of fish, peeps. Hello. We're having a great time. Are you having a great time?
An awesome time. We just saw the jellies.
Jellies. So we are gonna go on a tour of the backstage now. Hi, fluffy hair bits. So I don't know if they're gonna let me film that or not. But if they do, I will, of course, show you. And if they don't, I'll come back and tell you meaner. See you in a minute. We got the okay to film.
Now, it didn't happen here, but I'm not gonna name drop which facility it happened at. But there was a facility that was experiencing some missing exhibits overnight. They weren't sure if the night staff was going through with the little fish, thinking nobody would notice. But it got to the point where they were concerned because they weren't sure what was going on. Things continued to go missing and nothing was being caught on the cameras. So a few people opted to spend the night to see what was going on. And what they discovered was that their octopuses were leaving their exhibit overnight, going into other exhibits, having a late night snack, and then returning home before the morning staff came through. So we had to figure out how do we keep these octopuses in their containers. And the first thought is to throw a lid on it. But with an octopus's squishy body, that makes it a little tricky. Because if they could pop a lid open just enough to get their beak through, which is the hardest point of them, they can squeeze the rest of their body through. So unless you wanted to clamp down with industrial clamps and remove those each and every day, which was kind of tiresome because they're going in there regularly for cleaning, maintenance, and feeding, they had to come up with something else. So we played with a few options and we landed with our own. Now we need two volunteers. Do we have two volunteers?
Go.
Two volunteers here?
Yeah.
Come on, that's more voluntold, but it'll work. Go ahead and take one of these suction pads off. As you can guess, these suction pads are going to represent the suction cups on an octopus. And as you can see, they stuck onto the plastic side. Do me a favor, double check that. Make sure it sticks there. We're going to check full marks. There, it's working, stick it. Cool, alrighty. Stick it on the green side for me. There you go. There you go, doesn't stick. We discovered that octopuses, one, can knock suction cup onto AstroTurf. Entertained and whatnot so they don't get burned out on the same tools. But in that bottom picture, you're going to see a bunch of their enrichments. On the top picture, you're going to see them wrapped up in what we call car wash felt, which is strips of fabric that they can wrap. I'll go in, I have pretty non-slick boots here. But yeah, if you take a peek inside, you're going to see that it looks very similar to an aquarium, or excuse me, to a kitchen that you would see in a restaurant or a hotel, but it's missing a couple of ability, gives you that green haze. So we cut the filters on before y'all come through, clear it up, that way you can see inside, and then at the end of the day, we cut off those filters. That way we can get that raw nutrients coming on through, because we want that to conservation center. That's where we specialize with a lot of pelagic creatures, such as bluefin tuna, who aren't doing so well out in the wild. They have lower population numbers, so like the rockfish, we're researching them to see how we can better help them out in the wild. The closer one here, which you're looking at, is part of our sea otter program, where we help rehabilitate injured and abandoned otters.
hello. We had fun. We are now done. What did you think? Again, he's been there several times. It's not like a first
It's awesome.
time.
I like the jellyfish.
I like the jellyfish too.
I just wish they came with peanut butter.
Oh. Oh.
They're spicy.
I'm like horrified right now.
They got a little bite to them.
There's like an emoji that's like this face. That's my face. Anyway, I think we're gonna head back now. Not sure which way we're gonna go or what we're gonna do, but
no way to go but up.
No way to go but up. I will see if filming at the San Francisco Chinese New Year treasure hunt thing is a thing tomorrow, and if it is, you'll see it right now. Well, that didn't happen. So Friday night I went home and I started feeling not great. And then Saturday morning I woke up and I just had crazy aches all over my body and a headache, and I was like, I am not going to this treasure hunt. No chance. So I sent my husband and he had a really great time. My friend went to see his friend in another town and then came back and we had dinner, which was very pleasant. And so I spent basically Saturday and then most of Sunday just like laying around feeling like not very good. So I'm glad I rested because I feel better now, and I don't know if it was flu or what, but like I got over it pretty quick. I think largely because I decided to rest. So I feel like that was the great call. So anyway, I'm gonna move on with this skirt so that I can hopefully get it done because I would like it absolutely done. I've noticed one other thing that I'm not excited about. Which I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's how this pleat is sitting. You see this like bidig happening here? I'm like, nope. And I note when I like pull it up, it goes straight. So I need to see if I like basted that in or if that's just part of the pinning or what. So I'm gonna check this out too while I'm back there. But basically I'm gonna take these side pleats out entirely. Oh, that sucks because of pocket. I just realized that. Someone called this like an Edwardian fanny pack, which I'm like, that's amazing. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna take this all out and then go ahead and take the tarlatan off and put it all back together and see if it lays better. I'm starting to think that this skirt is a strong contender for like wool or something that's slightly more drapey than taffeta. But do you see how it like goes back down there? Like it actually angles backwards. Like, does that show it a little bit better? Sort of. Anyway, I'm kind of concerned about that behavior, so. Yeah, I'm gonna finish making up this guy and try it on and see what's the what. So, here we go. It has occurred to me that while I'm doing this, I could just sit here and talk to you. Because most of you are here for me to just chat at you. So I think I'll do that. A lot of people in the comments, man, the comment section from last time, I should have like just known that because I have a freaking giveaway in which I tell people to leave me a comment. And I'm like, whoa, there's a lot of comments. Done them all. Anyway. So a lot of people in the comments are asking about why I'm doing my mock-up in silk taffeta and do I normally do that and those sorts of questions. So not always, but for a ball gown, and for a pattern I've never made before, especially one with drape like this, like it's great that I did my mock-up in silk taffeta. Because my final material is going to be silk taffeta, and it's important to see how this lays. Sorry, I'm not going to look at the camera because I'm doing this thing. So it's important to see how the draping goes and stuff, and you can't really do that. Like if I did it out of muslin, it would drape great because it's muslin and it's a super drapey fabric. So obviously it's really sometimes important to check your fit and your drape and stuff like that in material that is basically the same material that you're going to use for the final. Like couture gowns are made that way. They may make a muslin just to see what the general shape is, but they will always make their toile or their mock-up in basically the same fabric as they're going to make the final, and then they can do tweaks to the pattern from that. I didn't do a muslin because it's a truly Victorian pattern and I know that they fit me. So I'm not checking it for that, and I'm not the one drafting the pattern, so the shape is the shape. So, and I'm probably not going to change that. So I could just skip straight to the making it out of the final fabric. If I was just making this for an event, because I've made truly Victorian patterns so many times, I might not make a mock-up because it's a skirt. And I don't usually make mock-ups of skirts. Morgan's gonna yell at me right now, so we'll just take a moment to let Morgan go down to the comment section and tell me off for not making a mock-up. If it's a bodice, especially a bodice I haven't made before, I absolutely will make a mock-up. And I will typically make it out of muslin to check the fit and all that stuff. And then I don't usually make another one. I usually actually use that muslin as the lining for the fabric once I figure out that that is okay. Now, that's bad practice. So let me tell you, do what I say, not what I do. Because muslin has stretch in it that like silk taffeta does not. So you can check fit, you can make sure that it fits, but you can't check the fit to a perfect degree unless you use the fabric you're going to use or very similar. So if you were going to make something out of silk taffeta, you could theoretically, especially if you had it in your stash already, use poly taffeta, which is significantly cheaper to make your mock-up because it's still a taffeta fabric and you're going to get essentially the same look and feel. My sadness about that would be if you're really just going to use poly taffeta and then you're not going to make that into like a wearable mock-up. That sucks because it's really wasteful and it just, you know, adds polyester into the situation that is going to go into a landfill because you're probably going to throw that away. So your mileage may vary. Oh, I have a bunch of rants about all of those topics like fiber weave and fast fashion and all those things I keep talking about. I haven't edited them together. I think I need to refilm a bunch of it. So I will probably do that at some point. I just sort of sat down and recorded myself like rambling about it. Which is probably going to end up what that video is going to be, is me rambling, but I'm probably going to think about what I want to say a little bit more than what I did do. Question about that English? Yeah. So, yeah, anyway, so for sure, mock-up is a great idea, especially if you're making something that's super close fitted, like a bodice. You would really want to make a mock-up. The good thing is, half the time your mock-up, especially just for costuming purposes, is fine. Like, you could just wear that. You can make your modifications on it. So especially like if you do a muslin mock-up, make sure it fits well enough to get around you and that you change any darts you need to change and adjust any seam allowances you need to adjust and all that kind of stuff. Then I just go straight to the silk at that point, and if I need to do anything, that's fine, I'll do it. And if I need to cut out another piece because I messed one up, that's okay, because I buy extra. But that's how I roll, and that's not how everyone rolls. So I feel like this sport is expensive and time consuming and tedious and will make you crazy. The mock-up is there designed to make you not crazy, but the mock-up can also make you crazy. So I feel like your mileage may vary, and do it the way you can afford to do it the way that makes sense for you for time. If you're a person who's like just in it for fun and you're not like hung up on it being a perfect fit and this is like your first time or your 43rd time and you just don't care, just go to the silk. Like, I mean, make the muslin mock-up because you're gonna use it for your lining, and then just go to the silk. I mean, that's what I do. Because I'm honestly not that hung up on it. I do want my stuff to look good in pictures, but I know how to stand most of the time to make my stuff look good in pictures. So, don't break yourself over it, is I guess what I'm saying. Speaking of break yourself, my little CosTube community has a group chat on WhatsApp, I'm sure you all know that. And we are currently discussing The 4-Hour Workweek, which is a book I was reading for a while, and then I stopped reading about halfway through because I wanted to punch the guy. And I think I told you guys that at the time. Yeah, so we're having this like funny discussion about it because there are people in my group that like absolutely love that book and it changed their life and made them like so much better at their jobs and stuff, and I can fully appreciate that. But it's just not, he's not a guy for me, man. He speaks like from such a place of privilege, and he's like okay with making virtual assistants who have MBAs work for $4 an hour. I'm just like, that's not okay. Like, what? It's just kind of appalling. So, yeah, we're having this funny discussion about it in which there's a great divide on who and what people like about it. But it does help some people, so I'll give him that. He's really caustic to me, so I don't know if I'll finish that book. We'll see. I don't usually not finish a book. Maybe I'll finish it in a while. I am currently reading The Starless Sea, as I was telling you guys, and I freaking love it. Like, I think it's great. It's very magical and relaxing. I keep falling asleep to it. It's like that relaxing, but it's not boring at all. It's just the guy's voice is really calming. And I'm like, oh, let's just fade off into sleepy land now. So yeah, that's what's going on there. Yeah, I'm having a good time in the comment section. I'm having a hard time keeping up with the last video, like I said. So I'm just not stressing myself out over it, and I'll get to it when I get to it. I spend, at this point, 1 to 2 hours a day answering comments. And I don't get to the end usually, which makes me sad. So, I probably shouldn't spend that much time doing it, but I do enjoy it, so maybe I should. Maybe I should just do that. At some point on this channel, I will go to responding to some comments, not all comments, but you guys all seem very cool with that, knowing that I give whatever I can give. Okay, so I just got to the pocket part, and now I get to figure out how to take that out. Let me go from the top down first and get this out. So I just have the pocket to deal with. Wow. Alright, I'm gonna go focus on this part because this part seems moderately stressful. I don't want to, like, I'm trying really hard not to rip this silk, and it's really, it's not hard not to rip it because it's like a, I don't know, what is this called? Jacquard. It has weird threads in it, so it doesn't rip as easily as like just straight taffeta does. So that's great, but occasionally I catch these little dots in the fabric have threads on top, and I'll catch those and then I'll pull the whole dot out, and then I'm like, ah. So I'm gonna go focus on this. Okay, now I'm just picking out all the little red threads. I can be like red threaded. All the red threads that are all over the inside of this seam are now going all over the floor, which will be collected on my socks and transported all over my house. Fun times, guys, fun times. So I do have it completely apart. The back is like, this is what attaches to the waistband. Like, this is how big it is. Here it is from the front side. And yeah, I do think I want to like re-stitch this so that it's more precise. And I am leaving it together like this, and I will re-seam it together so I don't have to redo these pleats other than restitching it. So it'll all get ironed before that. There's like, it's it's weird. There's this, I don't even know if it's going to show you this. Let me see. I don't know if it's focusing. There's like a weird line that forms because of all the stitches, because I use a fairly tight stitch length. You know, people come in a lot, like Claudine came over and she was like, your stitch length is really short. And I'm like, this is the one that's like automatically set by my machine. I wonder if it's different than everyone else's. She said hers is longer. So maybe she doesn't have, no, she probably has a machine that has stitch length. I don't know if her machine's computerized, I guess is the question, right? Because when you don't have a computerized machine, you just set it and then forget it until you need to change it. So maybe that's what's happening? Question mark? I don't know, but it is very tight. I'll give that. I think it's like a 2.5, but I don't, does anyone know? Is stitch length consistent between machines? Like, is a 2.5 on every machine? Or is a 2.5 on a Bernina the same as a 2.5 on a Bernina, and only that? I assume it means like however many stitches per like millimeter or something like that. I don't know what it actually is. I'm gonna go look that up at some point. Alright, this guy is clean. That skirt is clean. This one, I have to take all this tarlatan out, which means I get to unpick all the stitching in here. Fun times. Do I need scissors? Yep, probably gonna need scissors for this. Okay, so I have the skirt completely separate from the tarlatan, which is good. Now I'm like, oh, what do I do with all the tarlatan that was in there? Probably store it for a while and see if I can use it in something else. Anyway, I draped what's just taffeta onto Brunhilde, and it definitely lays better, so I think that's what's gonna happen. And then I think I'm gonna use horsehair braid at the bottom of the skirt to give it more like body and stiffness around the bottom without affecting the drape at the top. So now I get to iron this whole thing out again, and there's some parts of like where I zigzagged that have like decomposed. You can see how this like string is here, so I need to re-zigzag that so that it doesn't shed all over the place. Silk sheds like a crazy person, like it'll just come apart and you'll have a bunch of silk threads, which is really nice. Oh, I did learn something cool, which is if you are hand sewing, you can actually just pull off threads off your material and use that silk as silk thread to sew with, which is fantastic because it's exactly color matched. So anyway, I'm going to take a quick break and then go ahead and iron all this stuff and re-zigzag the edges and make sure this is all good to go, and then start sewing everything back together. Fun times, fun times. Okay, so this is it without the tarlatan, which I think looks a lot better. The drape in the front is a lot more attractive. I don't know what it's going to be like on me. And it's just pinned on there right now. I don't even have the back in yet, but I think that's a lot better for sure. So I think I'm going to run with that. That is my MO for right now. Just get it together and try it on and see what it looks like. I hope this works. Okay, we've got her back to where she was before. So she has side seams and a pocket, and I actually put this strap in so the pocket can get supported somewhat and not crumple in. So I feel pretty good about that. I might go through and prick stitch the pocket into open position. I'll show you that in just a second. So this is the pocket from the outside. So it's like fairly well pressed, as you can see, and it will hide behind the pleats of the back. But definitely I could prick stitch this so that it does remain, so it doesn't like pull out ever like that. So I'm gonna attach the waistband. I've already gotten farther than I expected to or wanted to today, so that's good, which was I just wanted to get the tarlatan out. So we've got it back together. So I'm gonna actually try to put on the waistband now and see how that process goes. And if it goes okay, I will sew it down. And then we will make decisions on hems and finishing possibly tomorrow, but maybe some of it tonight, we'll see. Okay, we have a waistband on. I don't know why this is showing up so much more red than the rest of it. It's all like one piece of fabric that's just folded, so it's like cut in the same direction and everything. It's just somehow showing off more red. I have no idea how or why that's happening. Sigh. Anyway, I need to figure out the closure tomorrow, which will go right there. The pocket is over here. And I might, yeah, I still might prick stitch some stuff in, I'm not sure. We'll see. I do like the fronts. Let me zhuzh it a bit. I think it drapes way more nicely than when the tarlatan was on it. I think it's a weird skirt, for sure. I think it could do with some horsehair at the bottom. So I'll definitely try that on this one and see how that goes. I think it'll do for the ball, for sure. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it so far. I find this pleat so interesting and how different it is on both sides. It's just such a strange character. It would look kind of better. That one almost looks like there's 3 in there, but there's not. There's only 2. I checked it like 5 times. I made sure I didn't over sew anything, and it's all good. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll finish it tomorrow, and then I will try it on and see how that goes. And we will then know what the deal is. Hello! It's Wednesday. Okay, so many things have happened since Monday night. I guess the first one is related to this skirt. So, I had a little confusion with myself and also with some of you in the comment section telling me, like, yo, you're not really gonna know if this is awesome or not until you put all the petticoats and the bum pad underneath it. And then I was like, yeah, okay, you're right. I was like, okay, well, I just need to put a hem on it and put the skirt closure on. I can't do any of that until I have the bum pad and whatever, because the hem will get changed by how much space that takes up and whatever. So, like, cool. These are things that happen when you're making historical clothing and you're doing it in the wrong order. So I basically have to stop this process right now and pivot and make that bum pad. And I think I need like a kind of hefty one to like pad out the flatness, trademark symbol TM. So yeah, I gotta figure out how to make a bum pad, which I've never had to do before. I don't think it's that hard, so I don't think it's gonna be a problem. So one of the things I'm gonna do tonight is look around my fabric stash and see what I can use as a bum pad. And then I have all that jazz, all that cabbage over there, bum pad stuffing. So I'm gonna sit here and shred cabbage probably all night and probably not actually make this thing, but I'm gonna get set up to do this thing so that it gets made. So that I can get a bum. I have the particular underskirts that they want me to use because it's their underskirt, and there's the underskirts that I've already made for all my Victorian stuff, so that's fine. I have 2 of them even, so I can put them under there. And then I can put the bum pad on and see how that changes the shape of the garment, and then I can set a hem. I've decided to hem it with a hem facing made out of tarlatan in the front, at least. So I need to definitely figure that out, and I can use the tarlatan that I cut out of the front as the place to get the tarlatan for the back, which is great, or the tarlatan for the hem facing, which is great. The back already has hem facing in it. I think that, like, the more I sleep on it, the more I like it. Ooh, that's some focus issue. There we go. Yeah, the more I like it. It moves a lot. Like, every time I tug it, it turns into a different shaped skirt, so that's cool. Someone was like, that's weird because my pocket was in the side seam. And I'm like, where's your side seam exactly? This is the side seam. This whole piece, all the way around to the other side, coming around and ending here, is one piece. So that is the side seam. So when you say your pocket's in the side seam, so is mine, and there it is. There's no seam here at all. This is merely a dart. So yeah, I think probably in the real skirt, I will not put this pocket. There's part of me that actually wants to take this pocket out because I don't think I'll use it, and it's kind of annoying looking. So I may actually go ahead and do that while I'm waiting also, and by waiting I mean doing something completely different. I like the back a lot. I think it's pretty. I like the way it flows. I think I would love this skirt a lot more in wool, but I think it'll do for the ball for sure, because I definitely don't want something massive and I don't want a big train. See that like dip right there where it goes like poofy and then whoop right there? That's the thing that I'm like, what to. I don't really know. I understand why it's doing that because the fabric is draped in that way. I wonder if when the hem goes in though that won't happen. So that is one of the questions I have about this skirt. Someone was really sweet in the comments today and they're like, I don't know how much I love the drape of that skirt. I love the back, but I don't know if I love the front. And I was like, yeah, I'm glad you said that because I don't love it either. But actually right now when it's doing this thing where it's like, whoosh, whoosh, I actually really like that, like whatever's going on there. But the thing is, the second you take a step, then that changes. So I think it's just a little bit out of control. I think it's supposed to mimic when you had an apron on your dress, like, or a overskirt that had an apron front. It's supposed to mimic that, like with these pleats. It's that transition period where it's going from, like, in 1891, it's going from, like, late bustle, which was pretty prim and proper bustly, but with a big old bustle, straight into the Belle Epoque, where you have epoch, let's say epoch, where you have those giant sleeves, and a tiny, tiny waist and stuff. So I think this was like an illusion. It's an illusion, Michael. Arrested Development fans here? Anyway, so I'm gonna look for fabric to make this out of, and also I think I have a pattern for it. If I have a pattern, I might as well use it. Otherwise I'm just gonna like draw a pattern because they're not that complicated. Marika made one, so I'm just gonna go watch her video and figure out how to make one of these. But if I have a pattern, I'll use it, and then I'm just gonna start shredding silk to make filling. Cool. So I need to get like a container to put all that in. But that's what I'm gonna do this evening, so I think that's pretty boring. So that might, I'll time-lapse that for you. I think after that though, I'm gonna end this vlog, and then just start up with the next one. This weekend is crazy for me. Whew. I have a photo shoot at Lori Tabbin's studio on Saturday. Hopefully that still goes through, and I will bring you guys with me. She said it was cool for me to film. So I'll bring you with me to that, and then I'm going bowling for my friend's birthday, and then I have a baby shower on Sunday, and then on Monday I'm going to this White Elephant sale somewhere in San Francisco proper, or Berkeley, I don't know, somewhere. My friends are like, come to it, it's so wonderful. I don't even know what it is, so I'm gonna go find out, but I'll bring you with us, so that you can see the White Elephant sale next week. So lots of adventures this weekend for sure. Yesterday I went on a mad cleaning spree, and I started cleaning out like weird things. Like I washed all my makeup brushes, and I cleaned my whole makeup area. Like I scrubbed it, and it is clean, and I love it. And I cleaned out like my bedroom junk drawer, and got rid of so much crap that I don't need, and I'm kind of on a purging roll. So unfortunately that means it takes time from sewing, because it means I'm gonna start purging. But that's good because it means I get more stuff out of my house, which means I have more room for fabric. Also more room in my brain to do stuff. I should organize that board a little bit. I think I'm gonna move Historical Hogwarts and the 1890s nightgown into new business, because I don't think that's gonna happen before the event, unfortunately. But I'm gonna put a pad on there. And that Regency day dress, bangs, and hat situation that's going on over there, I have most of the hat done, although I need to take the top off and fix it, and then that's done. And then the bangs, I have instructions on how to make them. So that's something I can do really soon too. So I'm excited about that. Just getting stuff knocked off the unfinished objects list is definitely a goal for this year. Oh, I'm like, oh, I have a big announcement and I completely forgot about it. I did actually start that Patreon account. So I quietly hit the launch button today. So it exists. I do have a Patreon. I probably won't pitch it here very often. I'll probably talk about it for a couple videos just for people who catch up and then mention it every once in a while. But I'm not here to push you into that. If you want to Patreon me, please do. And if you don't, that's totally cool. There's a low level, I think at $5, and a medium level at $20, and then there's a $50 level for my mom. And that's it. I will say that the $20 level, if I get enough of those, I'll start doing calls, like sort of everyone can get on a video chat call sort of thing, a Zoom chat. And the first 20 people who do that get a handwritten note from me saying thank you and possibly a little prezzy. So we'll see. But yeah, no pressure at all. I will do updates on it, like, you know, basically having a blog. I will update probably a few times a month with stuff there, and I may occasionally make a video for that content, but nothing will change on this channel. I won't take anything down from this channel. I won't not make content for this channel. Like, this channel is this channel, so it's really just there for those people who want to like help support me and make it easier for me to stay off work for longer and like sort of get better equipment and pay for fabric and stuff. So that exists if you want to join it, and I would be super happy if you did, and I'm super okay if you don't, so zero pressure. Yeah, so that was my super exciting afternoon, was figuring all that stuff and pressing the button. So I will leave a link down below to it for you. It will always be down below. I'm putting it in all my old videos too, for people who wander in to join if you'd like to. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go shred some fabric. Fun times, and probably watch Marika's video. Cool. Okay, it's been several hours and 16 days. Sorry, I went on a little shade diatribe. This is what last year looks like. Can you see all my costumes? I'm like Regency, Watson, here's some Sherlock, and therefore Watson. This is my bonnet. This is the skirt I just made. This is the lining to Watson. These are the Regency hair turban thing and my sash. Like, what else we got in here? We got fluff from the inside of the bonnet. There's like white silk in here too. Anyway, somewhere in here is some of my 18th century dress too. Speaking of my 18th century dress, I found this in my Cabbage Patch, which looks so much neater now. This is what you do with your cabbage, apparently. This is what I just learned. Anyway, I found some more of that fabric, so I think I'm gonna try to make the bustle pad thing out of that, which will be fun. But I'm gonna save that for another day because my hand is achy and sore, and I maybe should go ice it because these, damn it, I gotta go sharpen these. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video here because I have a million hours of Monterey Bay Aquarium footage to go edit, and I would like to get this up for you either tonight or tomorrow. So I'm gonna say goodbye with this, and next vlog I'll start tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you next time. All the links are down below for Instagram and Patreon and all that jazz should you need it. Have a great day, guys. Bye.